Hello everyone, and welcome to Behind the Bulletin. Today, we're diving into a story that's been sending fans into a frenzy and keeping everyone on edge. Dating rumors have surfaced surrounding Yulong and Yang Mei. And the details behind these whispers are sparking non-stop speculation. Are these just coincidences being blown out of proportion? Or are the clues pointing to something more than friendship? Stay with us as we break down the timeline, the moments that raised eyebrows, and why fans can't stop talking about it. Let's jump right in and uncover what's really going on, starting now. It began with a single comment buried under a harmless photo. Those posts that should have vanished into the endless scroll. No captions that screamed scandal. No obvious hints. Just two separate uploads, two ordinary days. And one sharp-eyed fan who noticed something that felt too clean to be coincidence. Same city. Same night. Same background lighting. At first, it sounded ridiculous. Fans love patterns. And the internet is built to reward people who can turn a shadow into a storyline. But then the comment gained replies. Then screenshots. Then an entire thread. And suddenly, the names were everywhere, Yulong and Yang Mei. The rumor wasn't introduced as a rumor. That's the most dangerous part. It arrived dressed as certainty. Wrapped in tiny evidence that looks simple but persuasive, a reflection on a glass surface. A song lyric posted at the same time. A restaurant tag that appeared and disappeared. A vague goodnight message that felt oddly personal when read through the lens of suspicion. By the end of the first day, it had already mutated from maybe they know each other to they're dating to the most explosive version of all. They've been hiding it for months. And once a rumor becomes a timeline, people stop asking whether it's true. They start arguing about the details. The first proof that set fans on edge wasn't even a photo of them together. It was worse, because it gave everyone room to imagine. A short clip appeared online. Shaky and half-blurred. Recorded from a distance. It showed a figure stepping out of a vehicle. Face mostly hidden by the angle. The lighting too dim to be definitive. But the silhouette was familiar enough for people to lean in. A second figure moved nearby, just for a moment. Then disappeared behind a door frame. The clip ended before anything could be confirmed. That was what made it deadly. Because confirmation ends conversation. Uncertainty feeds it. Within hours, accounts started posting side-by-side comparisons, hair length, shoulder shape, walking gait. Zoomed-in stills with circles drawn around the smallest details like they were analyzing a secret mission. It was obsessive, chaotic. Somehow incredibly effective. Then came the next wave, the insider whispers. Anonymous posts claiming they worked near the production. Others insisting they saw them together but couldn't provide real details. The language was always the same, vague enough to avoid responsibility. Dramatic enough to keep people hooked. One message kept getting repeated. Because it sounded like the kind of thing someone would say if they wanted to drop a bomb without lighting their own fuse. You didn't hear it from me, but it's real. Fans didn't need names. They needed fuel. And fuel arrived in the form of a timing coincidence so sharp it made people's stomachs twist. Yulong posted a late-night photo, nothing special. Just a quiet moment. Moody lighting. Minutes later, Yang Mei posted a story with a similar color tone, similar shadows, similar atmosphere. Again, there was no proof they were together. But the pacing was too perfect. It felt like a call and response. The internet has a sickness. It wants a hidden romance more than it wants the truth. So the story grew teeth. Asked supporters of the rumor what convinced them. They would tell you it wasn't one big thing, it was the accumulation. 100 tiny moments stacking until the brain gives up and decides the pattern must mean something. Talked about matching schedules. They talked about the same circle of friends. They talked about how they both went quiet for the same 3-day stretch. And then there was the detail that made the rumor feel almost cruel. A supposed private meeting at a location fans recognized. A cafe. A corner table. A back exit. According to one circulating claim. Someone saw them arrive separately, minutes apart. Just casually like they didn't want attention. The post described a moment that sounded too cinematic to be real. Yulong allegedly stepping aside to let Yang Mei pass first. The brief tilt of his head. The subtle way she adjusted her sleeve like she suddenly remembered she was being watched. It could have been fiction. Have been misidentification. But it was written so vividly that people could see it in their minds. And once you can see a rumor, it becomes hard to unsee. Then the argument shifted from "are they dating" to "why are they hiding it?" That's when things turn tense. Because hiding implies fear. And fear implies stakes. People began throwing around theories. Some said they kept it quiet to protect their careers. Others said it was because of upcoming projects. Some insisted it had to be serious. Because casual flings don't require this level of silence. Each theory added a new layer of suspense. Like the story was transforming into a thriller where the main danger wasn't being caught, but being exposed. Then came the twist that truly escalated everything: the sudden disappearance of a post. A fan account that had been gathering evidence claimed that one particular photo, one that allegedly showed a recognizable interior detail, was deleted within minutes. The account reposted it with a warning: "They're watching." Three-word phrase spread faster than anything else. "They're watching." It made fans feel like they were part of something forbidden. The rumor wasn't just gossip, it was a secret being guarded. And when people feel like they were fighting a hidden power, more determined, more obsessive, more reckless, soon, every silence became suspicious. Every public appearance became a performance. People watched interviews for micro-expressions. They rewound clips to see if one name made the other person hesitate. They counted the seconds between questions and answers as if love could be measured in breathing patterns. And all of it led to one moment, one alleged moment, that fans described as the point of no return. A short video surfaced from an event. Weren't standing together, not openly. But for a second, just a second, Yulong's gaze allegedly tracked Yang Mei as she passed behind a group of people. It was a small, ordinary human motion anyone could make without meaning anything. But the internet doesn't accept ordinary. Fans froze the frame, zoomed in, highlighted the line of his eyes, compared it to other moments. Then someone wrote a caption that hit like a punch. That look wasn't professional. And just like that, the rumor gained a heartbeat. By the end of the week, the fandom wasn't just curious, it was tense. People were on edge because the story felt like it was approaching an explosion. Either it would be denied, confirmed, quietly strangled. But no matter what happened, something would break. And right as the pressure peaked, a new piece of gossip slid into the conversation like a knife. "There's a reason they can't speak." That single sentence opened a door to darker speculation. Not just romance, but complications. Not just feelings, consequences. Suddenly, fans weren't asking "are they dating" anymore. They were asking, what happened that made them this careful? That question is where the rumor stopped being cute and started being dangerous. And that's exactly where part 2 begins. The second stage of any rumor is always the same: it stops living online and starts spilling into real life. It leaks into interviews, gets whispered in waiting rooms, becomes a question journalists want to ask but can't. Into the invisible tension behind every public smile. This is where fans truly start to feel on edge, not because they're entertained, but because they sense the story might have consequences. The days that followed, the narrative around Yulong and Yang Mei became less about evidence and more about psychology. People started analyzing choices. If they were truly together, why weren't there any clear photos? If it was fake, why did the timing keep lining up? If it was coincidence, why did the silence feel so calculated? The rumor gained power because it offered no safe answer. Then came the first real escalation, the mutual circle theory. Fans began mapping connections like detectives: who attended which event, who followed whom, who liked which post, who appeared in the same background at different times. Started as casual curiosity turned into a web. Once a web forms, people begin to treat it like proof. A single shared acquaintance became a bridge. 2 shared acquaintances became a pattern. And soon, the story became inevitable. The most intense posts weren't the ones claiming romance, the ones claiming strategy. They're controlling the narrative. That line hit differently than they're dating, because it made the rumor feel like a chess game. Fans started looking for signals. Subtle acknowledgments hidden in harmless content. A lyric choice. A color theme. Song posted at midnight. A caption that sounded too personal to be random. When people start believing in signals, they stop needing facts. And then, another detail surfaced that made everyone hold their breath. A report, again, not confirmed, suggesting that someone close to the situation had quietly reached out to ask fan accounts to stop spreading certain images. Even the possibility of that was enough to ignite panic and excitement at the same time. Because if nobody cares, they ignore it. When someone tries to stop it, people assume it matters. That's when the rumor began to feel like an unfolding crisis. Fans were on edge because they sensed a confrontation approaching. A breaking point. The moment where either a denial would crush the fantasy or a confirmation would shock the entire community. And while no official statement appeared, there was another shift, small, but noticeable to the people watching obsessively. Some fans claimed Yulong's posts became less frequent. Others said Yang Mei's captions felt more guarded. Others insisted nothing changed at all. And the internet was projecting. But tension thrives on uncertainty. Then the story took its most dramatic turn. The separate arrival narrative returned. But this time with a sharper edge. A new anonymous post claimed they were seen leaving the same building on different floors, within minutes. One after the other. Deliberately spaced to avoid attention. Painted a scene of careful planning, like they were navigating a world where one wrong step could ignite a scandal. Whether it was true or not, it introduced something crucial, fear. Because if their spacing exits, it suggests they know they're being watched. They know they're being watched. It suggests the rumor isn't just a rumor. At this point, fans weren't just excited, they were anxious. They worried about backlash. Worried about harassment. They worried the rumor would spiral into something harmful. And then, as if to prove those fears valid, the tone online began to sour. People stopped speculating playfully and started accusing others of lying, manipulating, shipping too hard, to ruin careers. Rumors don't just create stories. They create wars. And right in the middle of that war, the most shocking claim appeared, that there had been a near-exposure moment. A time when someone almost photographed them together. But something stopped it, security. A friend stepping in. Quick change of route. Again, it wasn't provable. Raised the stakes. Because almost caught is the language of secrets. Suddenly the story wasn't romance, it was a chase. Replayed alleged sighting descriptions like they were action scenes. He turned first. She followed later. They used the back entrance. The more specific it sounded, the more people believed it. And belief is contagious. Then, one final explosive ingredient dropped into the rumor pool, a supposed emotional clue. Someone claimed Yang Mei had posted a line that sounded like heartbreak. And shortly afterward, Yulong posted something that sounded like reassurance. It could have been about anything. Work. Family. A bad day. A random quote. Atmosphere of suspicion. It became a love letter. And that's when fans truly became on edge. Because the rumor started to feel unstable, like it wasn't just a cute secret romance, but something complicated, fragile, possibly even painful. At the peak of the frenzy, the fandom demanded answers. People started asking for confirmation not from tabloids, but from the stars themselves, through comments, through live streams, through any channel where a hint could be dropped or denied. But the louder the demands became, the more intense the silence felt. Silence, once again, became the loudest sound. The brutal truth, even if Yulong and Yang Mei are not dating, the rumor has already changed the way people look at them. Already created an imagined history. It has already forced every neutral moment to carry romantic weight. That's the curse of modern celebrity culture. The public doesn't just watch reality. It writes it. So what happens now? If they deny it, half the internet will say it's damage control. If they stay quiet, half the internet will say it's confirmation. If they confirm it, another half will demand details they don't owe anyone. There is no ending that satisfies everyone. It's what makes this story so tense. Not the possibility of romance, but the inevitability of reaction. And in the final frame of this rumor, the most chilling question remains, not because it proves anything, but because it reveals how far the audience has gone. If the details are keeping fans on edge, is it because there's truth behind them? Or is it because everyone has become addicted to the feeling of chasing a secret? Either way, the rumor has already done what rumors always do best. It turned two people into a storyline. And now, every new post, every new appearance, every new silence, feel like the next episode. Because the internet doesn't wait for facts. It waits for drama. As this story continues to swirl without confirmation, becomes clear, the tension surrounding Long and Yang Mei is no longer just about dating rumors. It has become a mirror reflecting how quickly curiosity can turn into pressure, how silence can be interpreted as meaning, how easily speculation can grow beyond anyone's control. Whether these rumors are built on coincidence, misunderstanding, or something more personal, the truth remains known only to those directly involved. The public sees our fragments, moments frozen in screenshots, words stripped of context, and gaps filled by imagination. In that space between what is shown and what is assumed, stories like this take on a life of their own. Perhaps the most important takeaway isn't discovering whether the rumors are true, but recognizing how fragile the boundary is between private lives and public narratives. Behind every trending topic are real people, real emotions, and real consequences that don't disappear when the internet moves on. Thank you sincerely for staying with this story from beginning to end. Your time, curiosity, thoughtful attention are deeply appreciated. We hope you continue to watch with an open mind, a critical eye, and a sense of respect for the people behind the headlines. Until the next story unfolds, thank you for reading and being part of the conversation.